Hi guys. This episode is brought to you by I made stickers. They're on sale right now. You should buy them because thank you.
Hello to the gamers. Today I am telling you about the time that me and a couple of friends accidentally speed ran hosting and then killing a live service. Don't worry, it'll make sense later. So a while ago, I was making a video about indie games. This one didn't come out. It was a lot more broad than the one about shooting games. It was just like, oh, here's some indie games that I like and I want to talk about. And I'm gonna be honest, I was really stretching the definition with that one because I was including everything from Vividlope, almost a solo dev project. It's an incredibly small team, super low budget, dinky little cute puzzle game that I love, all the way up to Pacific Drive, which I'm pretty sure had a trailer at, I don't know, one of the gaming shows. Who cares? Calling that indie is kind of a piss take if comparing to something like Vividlope, but at the same time, indie, the word, doesn't really fucking mean anything anymore, and so that's a whole other topic video that I don't really want to get into because that conversation is boring and sucks and I don't care. Anyway, I was gonna recommend Pacific Drive because I love that game, and one of the things that I wanted to do was play around with its built-in radio function. Because around the time I was writing and playing games for this thing, the game came out with an update that let you upload your own music files to the radio to play them, which is already really cool. I'm a sucker for that kind of functionality, but the really cool thing that it did, and what got my mind bouncing about in a funny manner, is that not only does it support MP3 files and such, it supports M3U files, and those are just containers that could be a bunch of stuff. They're like instructions, basically. And one of the things you can do with them is direct them to a live internet source, basically live radio. You can plug a real internet radio station into your radio inside Pacific Drive. That is the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. I had to do something with this. So I learn about this and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. And so I get talking with an anonymous friend of mine who immediately falls in love with this idea. And right off the bat, the two of us just become a positive feedback loop. They are a real sucker for the kind of genres that I'm pulling from here, like 90s pop music and house and R&B and shit like that. And I am world's biggest sucker for the kind of 90s aesthetic branding that they wanted to lean into in order to give this fake station its identity. And the more we talk about it, the more we're like, this is kind of just a great idea. This is a fun idea. We could just make a fucking internet radio station for fun. This sounds like the most fun ever. I remember one night whenever they wanted to make branding material, but we didn't have a name for the thing. And I jokingly just called it, we could just do something stupid. What about I don't know, Sex FM? And he really liked how that rolled off the tongue. And we kind of just went with it. Because at the time, this was supposed to be just a little side project for a big video I was working on, We were gonna, it was this little thing. It was this fun little pet project, We were gonna make some banners, we were gonna throw some music up, and it's just gonna be a little fun extra thing. Thus is the beginning of Sex FM. Shortly after this, I record an episode of Final V3 with friend Sam, and by this point we had settled on a name, we had settled on a look for the station, and I had gone to work on the audio bumpers and stuff, because if there's one thing I love doing, it's making fun of dated aesthetics. So I'm talking to Sam. Here's how I introduced Sam to what I was doing. We were recording whenever you heard this for the first time.
You're tuned in to Sex FM. Comes all your favorite dance, pop, and everything in between.
For me, it's gonna be Sex FM.
Sex FM!
This track is damn awesome. Check it out.
Holy shit. Wow.
He has the correct reaction. I am very proud of myself at this point. But the reason this is important is because this is the first time that anyone outside of my friend group hears about this project I'm doing for fun on the side, etc., etc. There's a couple artists that I drop by name who were the inspiration for the choice in music, those being Nellward and Sam Waiton. I name drop both of them in the podcast, and turns out Sam Waiton listens to the podcast. I had no fucking idea. I had never spoken to the guy before. Him and I were mutuals. We liked what the other person did, and that's as far as that went. So when the podcast comes out, and like a few hours later, maybe a day later, I get a DM from him out of the blue saying, "Hey, I heard you talk about me on the podcast. Sex FM sounds extremely funny. Can I help?" I look at that and I freak the fuck out because this guy's so cool. And especially because, like, I have forbidden knowledge about Sam. Like, this man lives two lives on the internet. One where he is Sam Waiton and he makes PSX-inspired house dance type shit. I'm not good with music names. It sounds like this. Good shit. And his other life is the primary DJ and one of the driving forces behind Explorers of the Internet, which is an organization that played Rampage multiple times. And here's what they sound like. When he's Explorers, he doesn't talk about being Sam Waiton. When he's Sam Waiton, he doesn't talk about Explorers at all. These are completely separate projects, but I happen to know that he's a part of both of them. And so I see him reach out, and my mind fucking expands, because him wanting to be a part of this project, like, there is no better person for a project like this on planet Earth. Here's some shit he sent me, like spitballing, just like throwing ideas out there of like, hey, maybe we could do something like this.
FM. What's up, everyone? I fucking hate this song. Somebody please stop this fucking song. I'm serious. Who made this song? It fucking sucks. It sucks. Yeah, nice melody, dude. Nice melody. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job, dude.
It's perfect. He's perfect. It's we've been blessed. The project is blessed. Sam quickly becomes one of the driving forces for Sex FM because he also just loves the idea. So it's me, anonymous friend, Sam, and a few other people who tag along as well who are throwing ideas out there. DJ Sprite comes in pretty quick because he's got some time and he likes the idea. We all start peeling through a shitload of music, just trying to find tracks that we think would go good. And while we're sorting all of this out, I have to figure out what the station is actually going to be like. Like, how is it going to be distributed? Are we going to do a real-ass internet station? Because if we do, that costs money. Not to get too into the weeds, but long story short, you can't just stream music for free online for people. That's illegal. That's called a pirate radio station. And so we find a service that lets us stream music. Dude, the moment that it did get working and it stayed on and it just worked, whenever I was able to turn on a Discord bot that streamed the same file that Pacific Drive did, an M3U file, and it just tuned into the station and it started playing our own radio station in a Discord call, and it was just doing all the shit that we had, and it just worked. It just worked. It was incredible. It was one of the best fucking feelings of creativity that I can remember, honestly. And like 3 minutes in, the station crashed, and we couldn't figure out why it happened for weeks. Foreshadowing. Anyway, weeks go by, and I had to take a break, and so the whole project kind of slowed because of the gaslight thing. So when I and the rest of the team sort of come back and congregate and begin to work on this again, the service had been like quietly launched. So like a very small select amount of people were listening to it around mid-January. I was calling it like an alpha test, basically, because I needed other people to listen to it to tell us if what we were doing was okay. And it had a lot of problems, way more than any of us expected. Very quickly, this went from something that we had figured we could just set up and then let run casually while we do other things, turned into something that we were constantly troubleshooting, constantly adding to, constantly adjusting, because at this point, everyone involved with the idea kind of loved what it was turning into. This wasn't a radio station for a video game anymore. We were just making a radio station for real. because it was fun, and it was stupid, and it was really fun. And crucially, the very small amount of people who were listening to it agreed. We were getting a lot of really positive feedback that encouraged us to reinvest more and more time into this thing. Hey, maybe if we want this thing to be listenable, we should have the DJs introduce more songs, because it gets repetitive after a while, and you know, a radio station needs variety in order to stay interesting. Okay, hey, let's have another DJ on. Hey, let's have another DJ on. Hey, let's really triple down on this. We're already having the DJs introduce a bunch of songs. What if we gave them lore for no fucking reason? Like, oh, what if your character, what if your DJ is just like a fucking Philistine or like a Luddite or something? Oh, what if my guy was just a complete fucking asshole? What if our two characters just fucking hated each other for no reason? What if occasionally, very, very, very rarely would this ever happen, but what if there was like a 1 in a 200 chance that if the person was listening at this specific time of day, then they would catch a version of a song that plays while the two DJs argue, and it feels like being trapped in the car while your parents are arguing.
Yo, dude, what is this?
Hey,
What is this?
I'm just playing the songs from the list that we
My list? This is not on my list, dude.
No, it's did you not get the update? We have a new list that just came.
I feel like I gotta put my foot down on this one. I'm sorry, like this track is ass. Like it's
Jeez.
It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. I'm sorry,
what?
but it does, and I feel like we're actually putting away, like we're driving listeners away by playing this, and I want the radio station to succeed. I want it to do well, and so like
I'm turning it off. It's.
Then turn it off.
It's.
All right, dude. I'm coming over there. All right, look. Where's the fucking button? I'm turning this shit off right now.
Why are you like this? What is your problem?
Whatever, dude.
What is your fucking problem?
Sprite was right.
There were so many bits that we made. So many. By the time I felt that the station was ready for a beta launch, we had over 400 songs in the database cycling in and out. And like, at least 100 of those were fucked up in some way. Whether it just be like a very slightly wrong version of a song that would have you second guessing yourself the entire way through, or whether it was just the DJ fucking something up for whatever reason, or whether it was just an inane moronic bumper, or whether it was like an entire elaborate bit that wastes dozens of minutes of your time for no reason, and because it's a radio station, you can't skip it. You're stuck here or you tune out, but you're not gonna tune out. Because of course, why would you tune out? No one's listening to this station, dude. Like, this is just for you. This horrible test of your patience that wastes like maybe 100 people's time. These are the only people who will ever hear this. You don't know what happens next. No one has ever heard this before, so you gotta stay listening. You gotta know what happens next. While we were making all of this stuff, while we were curating through hundreds of songs, editing together countless stupid jokes, I was learning how to create radio infrastructure. There's this inside baseball term called clock wheels, which I had to learn inside out. I had to understand how semi-randomized scheduling for radio stations work. I had to utilize an entire tagging system that would apply to each and every single music track so that things would behave exactly the way that I intended them to. I cannot express to you just how much time all of this took. And it didn't help that the system we were using was kind of dog shit, but this is for another time. Anyway, so we launch into beta, and for the way that I viewed beta was just more people are going to access this, and we feel ready to handle more people, right? So we're going to go into beta whenever I announce on Final V3, where I initially announced that it was even a thing that I was doing, that you can listen to it now. And we'll see how it goes from there. What I wasn't expecting was for so many people to actually listen to it. We weren't ready. We weren't ready at all. I was blown away. I didn't realize, I guess, just how well I had sold this station to the listeners of the podcast, but people really wanted this thing. And when they got it, they were all over it. We went from like maybe dozens of listeners during the alpha to hundreds during the beta. And maybe for someone like me, comparatively speaking, that doesn't sound like much, but when you're running a station that has to officially license every single song that plays, according to how many people are listening, that gets pricey really quick. We were in this fucked up gambit where the more successful the station was, the more people who tuned in at once, the more money it cost me, because I was the one footing the bill for every single person listening. And so the beta launch was just exponentially more expensive than before, and it scared the hell out of me. Basically, I was like, okay, panic mode. If we want this to be a thing, we have to make it not lose me $1 million like right now. It needs to stop losing money right now. It has to stop losing money, guys. Guys, it has to stop losing money. It has to stop. And while all this is going on, we also had to worry about keeping the thing running, using services that we didn't fully understand because they were just kind of obtuse. And so anytime something did go wrong, the stress was magnified by the fact that so many more people were listening now. Anytime something went wrong, we were failing all of these people listening. And this is a free live service thing, so if we fuck up, then people might not come back. And then they don't want to do it. At this point, we are running a live service at a significant loss. Never at any point did this make any kind of money, mind you. But we had now sunk probably over 100 hours per person into the thing, and it was bad. It was bad. So in a scramble to figure this out, we set up a donation page, we set up a Patreon, and we created a ton of promotional material that would play while the station was live, advertising for people to support it.
It's DJ well-informed whining class coach just wanted to walk here. AK DJ wiwaccwwidw. We ran out of fucking money. We ran out of fucking money. We're gonna have to shut down. Fuck. Fuck, we're so done. We're so done.
Never mind. We're back. Somebody just subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/SexFMLive. We're back.
My favorite example of this is the fourth character that we created out of necessity.
Hi guys, I'm Derek from SexFM. I'm telling you about our Patreon bequests of the money situation. That situation, by the way, is that I don't want to get the unemployed, so I figure I can tell you about some of our awesome perks for Give Us Money, huh? So get this. If you give us a couple bucks, you can be thank you'd at midnight every night by one of our DJs, True. They'll say your screen name, as they call it. Also, you get priority when requesting songs and other shit like that, I guess. And that's pretty cool. I have to get told to kill myself via email now, so goodbye.
So yeah, that's Derek. He was a fan favorite. Remind me to find you some fan art of Derek. We like Derek a lot too. Derek is also my favorite. Days go by, about maybe three-ish days into the beta launch, I have a look at the analytics, and they are simultaneously thrilling and terrifying. Because in just a few short days, the total amount of budget that we have for everyone listening to the station, the absolute upper threshold for the highest tier plan that the service we're using to distribute the music allows, a third of that budget is gone in days. And we have a month of budget to worry about. So there's actually just no way that if people continue listening at the rate in which they were currently listening, that I would be able to pay for this. Even with the promotion that we were doing through Patreon and other sources, it never came close to being able to cover how much that I was losing by keeping the thing up and running. We double down on Patreon promotion, we integrate it into the website, we keep maintaining the station, improving it where possible, and all the while we're also having to worry about maintaining communication through social media, responding to fans when they reach out via email or whatever else with complaints or suggestions or reports for bugs or whatever. Like, we were running a honest-to-God, fully-fledged live service for free for a while, for a good chunk of time there. I kind of just realized at a certain point that, like, through the storm of stress that loomed above, a ray of light shone through in the eye of the storm. It peered down upon me, and the ray of light said, "You can quit. It's okay." and then I kind of took a step back, and I realized, wow, I guess I could. And so we did. I did some rough math. I gave us a rough estimation of how much time we had left with the remaining budget before we were going to run out and things were going to get even more expensive. And like everything else, it was less than we expected. And we wanted to send the station out with a bang. If we were gonna pull the plug, it needed to feel like it wasn't just fizzling out. It needed to feel like there was a send-off of some kind, a thank you to everyone for listening. And so in a couple days, we completely improvised this stupid, weird culmination, like a conclusion of the stupid ARG stupid fucking reality that we had built around these 4 horrible people who run this godforsaken radio station. And I'm honestly really proud of how it came out, especially considering the limitations we were working with. Sam Waiton, who plays one of the DJs, was just not available to record at the same time as DJ Sprite or I were available. And so he had to record every single part of the ending sequence alone, send all of that to us, and then we would react to his pre-recorded voice lines as if, like, you know, he was in the room with us, and we had to, like, fill in the blanks and just figure that out. And it was very disjointed. It was very messy, but in the end, you know, I had to save it in the edit.
Sorry guys, what's up?
Your fucking
boxes, dude.
They came today?
Yes.
Yeah, they're all the way, all in the basement. No room
Okay,
down
guys,
there
but
anymore.
trust me, we need these. We need these.
Need what? What are they?
Hey, guys, I don't want to make a scene. I'm in a restaurant right now.
Oh my
Why would you
fucking
make it?
god.
We just want you to
You're
lose
gonna
the
be fucking
boxes.
thankful.
What?
Tell me he isn't not.
No, you're gonna be
I
fucking thankful.
I don't even know what's in these
and the
fucking
nukes are fucking
boxes.
dropping and the banks aren't working, okay? What's the point? Yeah.
Oh my fucking god, it's the Y2K shit.
And I could not believe how well it came out. We did foreshadowing. We had, like, dramatic tension and buildup. There were songs that were chosen, sometimes by mistake, sometimes intentionally, that underlined all of the shit that we were trying to do. It is one of the dumbest, most fun things, again, that I think I've ever made. All to send off this moronic fucking niche project that maybe, like, a few hundred people ever listened to. Yeah, I had no idea. None of us had any idea what we were in for before we started it. We had no idea that we were creating a live service, speed running the entire process of it, from the creation, the ideation of it, to the alpha testing, the beta testing, right up to the part wherever we misjudged the monetization model and then ran out of money and had to pull the plug. We microdosed live service game dev in a way. It was beautiful. And yeah, it's sad. I am still sad that we had to cut it off so early, at least in that current form. But also, it was supposed to be like maybe a half a week long project for an unrelated video. So the fact that we put as much time into it at all is already just, good God, I'm glad that we cut it off when we did, or I would never have made, it would have consumed me. It already did, or it would have just actually consumed all of us. Due to legality, it was almost impossible for me to archive any of this in a way that would be easily accessible for other people, which is why I want to thank everyone who did listen to the station and made efforts to archive broadcasts of it. None of us had any idea how much this thing really meant to people, how much people were enjoying it, until we saw those efforts while we were shutting it down. People who went out of their way to record whatever they could, catalog, archive, and share those recordings with each other. Because yeah, for all they knew, it would be lost media once we pulled the plug. But yeah, I've never been in a position where people cared that much about something so small. It was crazy. But thanks to those efforts, I can now comfortably say to you that if you want to hear a vertical slice of what listening to that project was like back when it was still live, you can find pristine, perfect recordings of that on channels like SexFM Archive. That's the one I would recommend. They've got a few other clips on there as well. It's probably the most cohesive. As for whether or not the station will ever come back, I just don't know. Everyone who is involved wants it to come back, wants to do something with it again. But working on the thing was very stressful. There's a bit of baggage there. And the reality is that keeping it live was really expensive. So unless I can find a way to solve the money problem, I can't see it becoming a live radio station again anytime soon. But you know, hey, never say never. In the meantime, if you wanted to relive some of that bullshit, or if you haven't listened to it before, again, the archives are your best bet. Subscribe for more canceled projects.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.